What is going on, guys? So the iPhone 12 6 months later. So usually this 6 months later helps in showing how much of an improvement a device has gotten through. Especially Android phones go through a lot of software updates, and even now iOS devices are getting many updates regarding iOS 14. And so 6 months later we get some more perspective, you can say some detailed and in-depth perspective on a device, and it helps us decide if we should buy this device right now or still wait 6 months more for the next iteration of this device. So should you wait 6 months more for the iPhone 13 or should you go for the iPhone 12 now? Let's find out. Now talking about the design, this new iteration with the squared edges, I must say at first I was a bit disappointed. On my iPhone 12 mini also, which I had earlier, the squared edges can feel a bit jarring. But I must say that after 6 months I have made my peace with it, and now I really feel holding this device, the premium feel of this device is on par, I would say. I usually use it with a rubber case, but indoors I like to use it without a case, and it really feels good in the hands. Now when deciding for the colors, I would suggest go for the lighter ones like the white or this mint green, because the darker ones show a lot of fingerprints and smudges. The iPhone 12 mini, which I had in the blue color earlier, picked up a lot of fingerprints and it looked dirty all the time. So that's why I would suggest go for a lighter color, because this shows the fingerprints really less. Still you can see on the Apple logo, but not that much. Now the next thing is the size of this device, the overall size. Even though it has a 6.1-inch display, it still feels a bit smaller than the iPhone 11 and the iPhone XR, because the screen is more edge to edge now and it has lesser bezels. This does mean that the device is more comfortable to hold, but I must say that they have made the display more narrower, and that is why the screen does feel a bit smaller than the ones on the iPhone 11 and the iPhone XR. But the rest of the design, I would say, is really pretty good, and everything is really comfortable. All the buttons are really clicky and it does feel like a super premium device. Now one more thing I would have to say is that do always use a case, because this device is really fragile. But when it comes to toughness, I have dropped this device a couple of times and I did not get any scratches whatsoever. But this situation changes when you flip the phone to the front, because the display, the moment I bought this phone, I put on a screen protector, and I would recommend the same to you as well, because on my iPhone 12 mini that I had earlier, the ceramic shield display is more prone to scratches now. Even though it's more tough, but it's more prone to scratches, and easily I had gotten one scratch on my iPhone 12 mini like in just a week after buying it. So this is something that you have to always keep in mind, and that is why the moment you buy it, do go for a case and also a screen protector to protect your device, because this actually helps in preserving your device, and also it helps in, like, if you want to avail any buyback options 1 year or 2 years later, then your device will be in a better condition to get a better price. Now coming to the antennas, because the iPhone 12 series have improved antennas, and I must say that the Wi-Fi reception and even the cellular reception that I have been getting is much better than the iPhone XRs, and also my other Android phone that I had, the Samsung S20 Ultra. So the reception is improved. It's not the best, but it's still improved a lot. Especially now I usually get more than 3 to 4 bars, where I was getting only 1 bar of the reception. So that's a good thing regarding reception. Now coming to the speakers at the bottom, I would say they do give a fuller sound, but not that rich. The treble is still more. I think that you get more bass on the Pro models for the iPhone 12 and the 12 mini. The speakers do have more treble, so the sound at higher volumes does sound a bit shrill. But at volumes lower than that, it's just fine, and for watching movies, it's just perfect. It also has that special audio feature, so 3D surround sound effect is also there. Now coming to the display, it has the OLED display now, not the LCD displays like we used to get in the older iPhone 11s and the XRs. So I must say that I did notice this difference, and while media consumption, it does help a lot. While watching videos also, it does feel more immersive, and the blacks are deep blacks now, so the display is on par, I would say. But again, I would like to mention, as the display is more narrower, it does feel like a small device. It does not feel like a 6.1-inch screen, and not hefty like we used to feel in the older iPhones. But one thing I must add again is that the display is narrower, so it does feel like a smaller display overall. and so the media consumption is not bad, but still you don't get that big screen feel like you used to get. I mean, you can easily notice the difference when you compare this phone side by side with an iPhone XR and an iPhone 11. But still, if you're not comparing, then it's no issue at all. Now coming to the battery life, I would say this is easily a 2-day phone. So with moderate usage like taking some photos or even recording a video and editing a video and even playing some games, I can easily stretch it to the next day. Like for a moderate usage of playing some games, recording one video and also editing it, and also watching a movie, I can easily stretch it to the next day. And if you're on a working day, like you would usually use the UI for some scrolling purposes or just checking your messages and emails on a working day, then it would easily last for 2 days. And the battery saver feature also that we have is pretty good. And the battery optimization is done really well, I would say. The standby time is just perfect. Like if you charge the phone to 100% and if you're not even looking at the phone for like 2 to 3 hours also, the battery would still be at 100%. So that is a good thing. The standby time is pretty good. So if you really want to extend your battery life, you can just, try to get it by reducing your usage and also using all those battery saver features. By the way, if you want to know how to preserve your battery life and battery health, do check out my video out on this. I'll put the link in the card above. You can also find it on my channel. So it's basically on the iPhone 12 mini because we are more concerned with the battery life on that phone, but it applies to the iPhone 12 as well. Now coming to the camera, you can see these samples that I have taken. So originally this produces a lot of like original colors and they are not that punchy and contrasty, but side by side comparison with some edited photos, you can see that you can really get the most out of the photos that you take from this phone. The details are preserved really well, even though they don't show at first, but you can tweak the highlights and the shadows and get those details in your photos. The camera quality, I would say I am overall impressed with the quality, and this is truly one of the best flagship cameras out there, especially when it comes to that smart HDR3 and deep fusion. Now when it comes to video, I really appreciated actually when this Dolby Vision HDR thing was launched, and the concern that everyone had with Dolby Vision HDR was on how to edit and share it on social media and stuff, because you always have to convert into SDR. But actually that has become very simple now with apps like iMovie and LumaFusion. But the issue is not that. There's also an issue with the iPhone 12 cameras, especially with the Dolby Vision HDR, which I've highlighted in one of my previous videos, so do check that out as well. But the video mostly is grainy and noisy. So this is something I also showed at Apple service centers, and I actually showed at 3 Apple service centers and all of them agreed that this issue is there. And once I also compared with another iPhone 12 just to see if that issue prevails in the other iPhone 12 as well, and it did. So this is something that really annoys me because I shoot a lot of videos with this phone, and I would say that even though the details might not be there, be it indoors or low light, but that noise is really annoying. So I would really wait for that software update, because even Apple told me the same, that do wait for that software update and they will be notifying their engineers about this. But if you are not using Dolby Vision HDR, then this camera actually performs like other iPhones. It is always good, stable, but the colors are not that punchy. And I did try to edit the videos in LumaFusion as well, but I could not get that much of a range of pulling off the contrast or something. The video looks really bad after editing or color grading. So that is something I'm a bit annoyed with. If you go for other phones like Samsung and all, in the videos they do have punchy colors, so you don't have to edit them, and actually the video looks pleasing right out of the box. I think that is why the Dolby Vision HDR is there, which gives more dynamic range and which also gives like more flexibility when you edit your videos. But it has issues, as I pointed out earlier, as of now, so we'll wait for the software update. Now coming to iOS 14, there are some issues or characteristics of iOS 14 I would say that I have pointed out in my earlier videos, so do check that out as well. I have a video called Don't Buy the iPhone 12 and also another video called Don't Buy the iPhone 12 mini, because in that I have also pointed out several iOS 14 issues which really bug me a lot on this phone, so do check that out as well. Now guys, coming to the verdict, should you go for the iPhone 12 now or should you wait for the iPhone 13? Well, one of the major things that might come to the iPhone 13 is the ProMotion display, and I must say that it is really tempting on the iPad Pros. It actually makes gameplay and also a lot of professional stuff like video editing, photo editing, and also artistic features like drawing and stuff. Makes it makes a lot more smoother when it comes to that ProMotion display. But it is not at all bad on this, because iPhone's touch refresh rate has always been really high, and this display also feels really smooth. But yes, the iPhone 13, when it comes to the Pro model at least, with that ProMotion display, it might feel more futuristic as well, and also will give a wide variety of professional options in like photo editing, video editing. But trust me, this phone also has that A14 Bionic chip, and it's simply a breeze. I really love gameplay, photo editing, video editing, everything that I do on this phone. I really love it because of the raw horsepower that we get on this phone. And I think the cameras also will be getting a lot of improvements in the future. And if you compare with the older cameras, you don't see a lot of a difference. Yes, the Smart HDR3, the Deep Fusion is there. Still, you would get at least for next 2 to 3 years, you will get great photos and great videos out of this phone as well. Because this video that I'm recording right now is with the iPhone XR, and still I can rely on it to give me good videos. So that's it guys. I hope you guys like this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.